Hello, you are listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory, and we are changing culture, bringing back traditional values. We, as in me, you, everybody listening. I always feel weird when I say we, and it's a solo episode because I'm like, people, if you've never heard this before, you're gonna think that like, oh my god, does this girl see someone else on the camera with her? Does she think there's someone else here? No. Normally I do have a co-host. I try to have a co-host every week. Sometimes people cancel because they have other things that are going on, various reasons for you to cancel. So we have to reschedule. Sometimes people's schedules just don't match up. But it is a solo mile today. When I say we, I really don't want Those Are the Girls. Like, it's called Those Other Girls because it is all of us. This isn't just like a me thing. I'm not the only one who's changing culture. Many of you listening are changing culture. You might be doing it in a different way than I am, but all of us together working to change culture and bring back traditional values, bring back Christianity in the sense of, it not being weird to pray before you eat. I'm trying to think of other ways. I think that we should start big meetings, big things with a prayer. I mean, once Those Are the Girls gets a little bit bigger and we have big groups and stuff like that, we will start every meeting with a prayer. My prayer before I try to do a quick little prayer before we do every episode, because my goal is for whoever needs to hear the episode hears it. If only one person needs to hear the episode, then only one listen, that's fine. But everybody that hears the episode or that needs to hear it, I want to hear it. Anyway, you're listening to Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends. Okay, so if this is your first time listening, we have a we have a new system that like we're using a new video recording audio recording system, and it has different sounds, and I'm absolutely loving this. I cannot wait for my regular co-host to come back so she can hear some. They're so fun. Anyway, this is the TCAP. So this is where we normally myself and someone else we will talk about things that have happened this week. We'll go over the topics, might learn something. We might educate you by telling you something that you might not know. For example, we did a really good episode where we talked about like the real reason the gas prices have gone up. And what we're doing now on the YouTube channel is clipping them. So if your friend's like, I don't want to listen to a full hour episode, that's fine. If you want them to hear that little specific part, you can head over to our YouTube channel, and we've clipped it like how Joe Rogan does all of his clippings. That's what we're doing now. So yeah, so you might do that, or it might just be our opinion on something. A lot of this episode will probably be opinion based. A lot has happened this week, but also not really. A lot of things have happened this week that also kind of happened last week. So just trying to figure out what to talk about. This week was a little difficult, which is why I wish I had a co-host, but that's okay. Things happen. We move on. And I really do like making sure we give you guys 2 episodes a week. I hate those weeks where like you might not have an episode on Tuesday or you might not get an episode on Saturday. I don't like that because our goal is to be consistent. Our goal is to give you guys, this isn't for me, this is for everyone. This is for you guys to have, have information, have topics, hear opinions, giggle a little bit too. I think I'm rather funny. And 9 times out of 10, her ghost, our guests are pretty funny too. So, I mean, have you giggle a little bit. So yeah, so this is the TCAP for anyone listening for the first time. I think I've said that like 6 times already. And that's why I have tea in my I Am the Boss mug. So it's called Those Are the Girls with Mallory and Friends, because initially myself and someone else started it, but it was initially my idea, and then I had someone else come on, and then she had to not do it, so now it's myself, and then I bring other people and my friends, and I am the boss technically. the boss. So that's why this works out. Super cool. Also, too, if this is your first time listening, or if you don't know me that well, if you're not watching, you can't tell, but if you are watching on YouTube, you can see pink is my favorite color. Everything that I own pretty much is pink. I love pink. Pink is a great color, and I love that it's getting to come back. I feel like so many more things are pink now. If you're listening, my headphones that I have on are pink. My part of my backdrop is pink. My mug that I'm drinking from is pink, and my Apple Watch is pink. Oh, if you have an Apple Watch, you should definitely add me, follow me on Instagram, like this Malpal, and reach out and we can challenge each other. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about the Apple Watch. Honestly, that's part of the reason why I got the Apple Watch, is to do the challenges and stuff like that with my friends. Anywho, to start off with, I guess I want to just really talk a little bit about what Those Other Girls is. I mean, I feel like I do this every couple of weeks just because there's new people listening. And also, too, I just want to always go back and remind everybody, like, what we're doing. So we talk about life, relationships, career, pop culture, and now true crime from a Christian conservative perspective. And the idea is to have this podcast is for it to be something like in the culture, something else that is giving alternative opinions on the really popular common topics that people are going to be talking about. I mean, I'm trying to think of something. The perfect example I can think of, I mean, it was about 2 years ago now when that Cardi B song came out. So many other women were like, oh, this is great, blah, 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 blah. Well, what we talked about how, you know, the video was inappropriate. There was a lot of things inappropriate with the song. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't like some of the songs that she has put out. But there's definitely a line that you should not cross. And I think that song specifically crosses a line. I think it was very inappropriate. So you'll get that from this podcast. You might not get that from other podcasts. So yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, so I also want to mention, I looked down, I have a list of things that I wanted to make sure that I say. I'm going to take a sip real quick. Oh, this is good. This is new. Ooh, tart. Sour tart. It's this new tea bag thing my mom, wow, this is very concentrated. I probably should add more water. That it was, we have like a little section in our house that has like all the coffees and teas. And I was like, I asked her, I was like, oh, because it was in a weird package. I was like, does this have tea bags? Because I do, when I went to China years ago, I brought back tea, but it was just the leaves. So you would have to use a strainer. And I would ask my mom if this was it. And she was like, I don't know. So we opened it and it was tea bag, but it didn't have the string. So I was like, that's interesting. But this is really good. She said someone gave it to her at work. Anywho. Okay, so things I want to talk about with Those Other Girls. I have so many ideas. I'm always telling Victoria, the other co-host, I tell her, like, I'll text her and be like, okay, I have this idea for this, this, and this. Oh, I have this idea for merch. I have this idea for a show. I have this idea for blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, cool. Oh, you know what? I don't know if that'll go over, blah, blah, blah. So she's a really good sounding board. But I have so many ideas of what more we can do for the podcast, and I'm so excited for it. I just, sometimes I'm a big dreamer. Wow, there was a lot I was saying just there. I'm a big dreamer. I really don't know how to dream small. Like, I legitimately don't understand people who just want to just do the bare minimum in their dreams. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say in certain classes I wasn't doing the bare minimum. I mean, like, when I genuinely want and excited about, I just don't understand that. That's just not who I am. So, I have a lot of really good ideas. There's a new show that I want to do. I don't want to announce it just yet because I would really like to get some of it in the works. So if you live in the Charlotte area and you're listening and you have access to video equipment, please reach out. If you can, like, film and edit videos. I have a new show idea that I really, 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 really want to do. And I like to do it this year. If not, I can wait till next year. But I would really like to do it this year. But things like that is going to cost money. And the goal here is to change culture, everyone. We are changing culture. We are. We get reviews and I get messages on my personal and on those other girls page from girls weekly just saying how grateful they are that they found us. They are really enjoying the podcast, asking for advice. I've gotten a couple of girls ask me for advice on things, and I feel so honored that someone would think that they could come to me asking for advice. So honored. So those are the girls. We have a lot of things that we're excited about, a lot of things that I just cannot wait to I genuinely cannot wait to show you guys some of the things that we're going to do. And all of it does cost money. I'm not going to say, and now we're going to have a call-a-thon. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, head over to our website if you want to get some merch. And then also, too, we have a special merch voting line. We're not doing the tea party anymore. Long story short, not doing that. I might talk about another episode. Not doing that, but we're going to do something else because I really do want, like I said, I want those other girls to be a resource. I want you guys to know that you can come to us with questions if you have about voting, and to remember that your primaries are coming up. The North Carolina primary is in May, and I want you girls to be ready to vote for your values. And we are tired of Republicans that are in office that aren't working for us, their constituents, because at the end of the day, they work for us. And we're tired of that. Then we need to be voting in the primaries. We need to be voting for the Republican that we think will do the best. Realistically, we know between a Republican and a Democrat, for the most part, I'm sure there's a couple where the Democrat might be doing better. I don't know of any, but, it's always possible. But for the most part, we know the Republicans are going to do better. But what we need Republicans that align with our values. So we have an opportunity to do that in the primaries. People just don't know about them. People don't know about, I mention it as often as I can, even to people in my personal life, and they just, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I didn't know we had that. Oh, that's coming up. And I try to tell people all of the time. So if you're listening, that's your homework. You need to tell everybody your homework. Go to your State Board of Elections website and see when the primaries are for your state. And then go to your voter lookup and see when your next elections that you're voting on. Because also, too, North Carolina is going to have special elections. So we're voting in May, but we also, I believe, where I live, I'm also voting in June. I have to look again. But either way, we have a chance to vote. And I know some people are concerned about, well, what about the machines, blah, blah, blah. I will say this, North Carolina, we have absolutely nothing to be concerned about when it comes to the machines. Let me tell you why. We have nothing to be concerned about because we don't have those machines that were causing all the trouble. And if you guys didn't know this, I believe it was 2 years ago, because of how well the North Carolina elections were run, the GOP, the chairman of the GOP in North Carolina, was asked to speak on a panel and now is a part of an election integrity panel, election integrity special group to make sure that we have good, secure, safe elections. So what we need to do is make sure we're voting. We need to make sure that no matter what happens, that they cannot tell us, if they cheat, they have to cheat 1,000 times harder because all of us are out there voting. Also, too, we also need to make sure that we are holding those people in charge in our states, holding them accountable. We need to vote. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like that idea. They're kind of frustrated. You have to at least try. And I do trust, because I'll tell you why I trust, because I attend the GOP meetings and I've heard from the leaders, and I'm not just online whining and complaining. I have been trying to do my part in any way I can. So I trust that our leaders, specifically in North Carolina, we will have a safe election. The last election, there were I believe he said it was lawyers that were at every polling station in North Carolina, Republican, to make sure that nothing crazy happened. So it's poll watchers. That's another thing too. Poll watchers. If you're concerned, you be that poll watcher at your polling place. I was gonna say polling station, but I guess that's what it's called. At your polling place, you be the poll watcher. So yeah, so I don't really know how I got there from where we were about seeing if you guys get some merch to help pay for things. We are changing culture. And I mean, like I say all the time, like everyone everywhere in politics that's a commentator says all the time, politics are downstream from culture. So the only way we're going to fix our political problems is if we fix the culture. And that's partially what Those Are the Girls is trying to do. Yeah. So I'm really excited about a new show. I really want to stuff like this. Like I want to tell people right away, but mums is the word, until we get some things situated and everything. But I think you guys will really like the show. I genuinely do. And once it's everything's, I'll let you guys know. I'll let everyone know. Make sure you join our Facebook group as well, because I think I want to start doing some things in the Facebook group, be a little more active in there. Just because I think it's a better way. Like it's a more concentrated way to talk to you guys. So if you're listening and you are just kind of like, I have things I want to tell you. I have ideas for the show. I want to talk about a topic that you guys talked about. Like, I have more questions. Join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is going to be a great place to do that. We can talk to you. We can discuss those things. Okay. So new projects, merch. And it's super cute. Like the t-shirt, the design. My friend Michaela from YWA. Everybody should join your YWA chapter. She designed it. Like I sent her this ugly drawing that I did on my phone. I sent it to her and I was like, hey, can you do a little bit of something with this? And she was like, yeah. And then, I mean, it was fabulous. Like the design is so cute. She put what I was thinking, but did not draw onto, I guess, the computer. I guess that's how you do the thing. She made my vision come to life. So super cute. Ordering mine, and 100% of it goes to Those Are the Girls. It doesn't go to my pocket so I can get gas. It goes to pay for this new system and the website and some of the other things that we will be doing in the future. Okay, so I think we can transition to what I was going to talk about. All right. You like that transition music? I certainly did. Let's all laugh together. Okay, all right, I'm done. I genuinely find myself funny. Like sometimes, and I'm sure everybody does, this is probably not like super unique to me, but sometimes like I'll go back and look at some of the things I say in my story and I'm like, that's funny. Or like I'll listen to, I was like watching, I think I was like looking for something in an episode downstairs in my family's in the living room. I was home by myself, so I think I was looking for something in an episode. So I was rewatching, like I said, an episode, and I made a joke and I laughed. And my brother walked in and he was looking at me like, "You sit there and laugh at your jokes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm genuinely hilarious." So that's why I laugh. I mean, I can't help it. Okay. Sorry. I opened up Instagram because there was something I wanted to talk about. I was on Instagram and oh wow. So Blair White is in a music video. Well, I don't want to get into that right now. I'll get into it another time. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that have happened this week. There are a lot of things that happened this week. And a lot of things that people have been talking about have been like the Leah Thomas thing. Ketanji Brown Jackson. I want to make sure I'm saying her name. Like, I don't want to be mean. Ketanji Brown Jackson. We're talking about that. Those are the two like hottest topics, and we've already covered both of them before. I do want to say this thing about the Leah Thomas thing. Let me open this link. It's from Evie Magazine, and I'll link it in the show notes. And it says, a photographer says that the NBC intentionally airbrushed and softened, it says her, but Leah Thomas is a dude, photos of Leah Thomas to make, oh, never mind. Okay, photographer says NBC intentionally airbrushed and softened her photos of Leah Thomas to make him appear more womanly. Okay, so her is referring to the, see, this is another reason why it's kind of confusing. Her is referring to the photographer. I was kind of surprised. I was like, I didn't think Evie would actually refer to this person as a her. They referred to him as a him. So, long story short, they softened, and I just, that's dishonest. Also, it's incredibly obvious. It's like that little filter that a lot of the influencers use. Maybe I'll post the pictures side by side, like screenshot it and post it somewhere on our Instagram, because it's like super obvious. It's that filter where they just look like so much smoother, like their skin is just so much smoother, and it's like, okay, and I mean, if I can notice something's fake, then it's fake. I was just telling my friend, I'm like, I am the target market for that stuff, because people will post these pictures and I'll be like, wow, she looks really great. And then like a couple, a year or two later, they'll be like, well, actually this was fake. And then they'll show like all the obvious signs of fakeness. I'm like, dang, certainly, sure fooled me. I had no idea. Oh my goodness. And lip injections, I noticed the exaggerated ones. For example, Khloe Kardashian. I notice hers, but like there's other people who my friends will be like, it's so obvious. And I'm like, I mean, now that you pointed it out, okay. But like initially I did not notice. Anywho, so yeah, so that is just crazy that happened this week. And then Ketanji Brown Jackson, I guess the 3 takeaways from that. I don't necessarily want to go super into that because I think that a lot of people already have. And Allie Beth Stuckey, I'll link her podcast, Relatable. Her podcast, she did a segment at the beginning of one of the episodes that really discusses it, and she just has all my sentiments. And also, too, I should read the Buried Millennial. She posted something that was very important, too. That I just 100% agreed with as well. But I'll say the 3 things we just need to realize with her. Well, first of all, the reality is she will probably be confirmed. I'm pretty sure they're going to, if it's probably going to be a split between the party lines, and then the person who breaks the split, okay, it is Kamala Harris. So let me say this. This is another example of why the Senate is very important. And there are 34 Senate seats up for re-election. 20 of them Republican and 14 of them are Democrat. You need to see if your state has one that's up, and then you need to find out who's running, and then you need to email them and ask them, how can you help? You don't have to donate money. It would be nice. Obviously, they're going to say donate money. If you can, please do. You don't have to donate money. You can donate your time. You don't have to donate, 40 hours a week. You can do help stuff mailers. There's so many things that you can do to help, but I think that things like this are so important. Obviously, we knew that Biden was never going to appoint a conservative, or not conservative, because they're not even supposed to be conservative, appoint a constitutionalist, someone who is not going to legislate from the bench. We knew that he was never going to do that. We knew that he was never going to put someone who we could trust to actually like read the Constitution for what it is. We knew that. So that is what it is. But if we had won in Georgia, which don't get me started on that, if we had won in Georgia, it would have made a difference because we would have had at least one extra seat. Anywho, neither here nor there. Make sure that you are involved. North Carolina, our Senate race is probably one of the most important ones. That's why Stacey Abrams has an office in North Carolina. She moved an office. Stacey Abrams from Georgia moved an office in North Carolina to help with our Senate race. And right now, the Democrat ready, who would be awful, absolutely awful, she has outspent all of our Republicans. Or she has raised more money than all of our Republicans. Now, raising money does not necessarily mean that that person's going to win, because there have definitely been times where the person who raised the most money did not win. But it's a good indicator, and 9 times out of 10 they do. That's just like a little insider politic to let you guys know. Okay, so back to Ketanji Brown Jackson. So the 3 things that we know about her. She would not, or to note, I guess, could not define what a woman was. I think that's very concerning. The fact, how can she make rulings? How can she handle cases if she cannot define what a woman is? I think that's very, very concerning. And she does not know when life begins. That's also incredibly concerning. One of the reasons why I fight so much for the life issue, which I will, anyway, I was going to say we'll talk later. It's like I'm talking to a friend. Oh, I see you guys as friends. Anyway, one of the reasons why I fight so much for the life issue is because if we have an arbitrary time of when life begins, then people can do and say, and then none of this matters. If it's just arbitrary, if we say it begins at this moment, if we don't have some concrete time when life begins, then they can do anything to anyone. I don't think we should be believing in slippery slope fallacies. If you guys have seen that graph about that graph that's been going around, I don't think we believe in. I don't think we should be using slippery slope. So we really need someone who can define when life begins. There's going to be a lot of things, I'm sure, that are going to come up in the next couple of years surrounding women and life. And we absolutely have to, we can't just let those things slide. Those is so crucial and important. The third thing is she was very light on child predators. I initially, when I was watching, so I've seen clips here and there, and I've been trying to keep up with it. I was like, okay, why are they harping on this? Like, this is terrible. Like, do not get me wrong. I think it's terrible. But I'm like, why? I'm just trying to figure out, like, what was the purpose? Like, why are they bringing this up? And I think it just goes to her judgment. Child predators are evil, awful, terrible people. Also, too, this is just a side note. Why is the minimum like 2 years? I feel like it should be way more than that. That's another thing too. I think whoever's in charge of that, we need to kind of get them to be like, hello, why it's already too low. And the fact that and then she made the comment, she made the statement that like 8-year-olds and 18-year-olds, they're not that much, they're closer in age. And it's just like, no, they're not. 18 and 8-year-old, they're not peers. There's no instance when an 18 and an 8-year-old should ever, that they're together, that they should have any sort of relation other than like a sibling or a cousin or family friends, obviously. Like, and that's where this gets a little, not tricky, but like, I don't want everyone to always be scared that like, oh my God, this 18-year-old, this 8-year-old, but you know, if they're family friends, like, everything's platonic. There's not that big of a deal if they're friends. But, you know, just an 18-year-old watching an 8-year-old, that's disgusting. That's terrible. It's evil. It's awful. Like I said, unless it's family, friends, cousins, siblings, no reason 18 and 8-year-olds should be, why they're not even peers. Like, are they even in the same school building? You know, like, what? Terrible person that would even do that. And then it's concerning that she would think that 3 months is an okay sentence. It's also concerning that she didn't, I couldn't tell if she had remorse. I want to give her more credit than that. And then I think she made the comment that, like, the laws have not caught up with the accessibility. Now, the statement was like, now that it is, pornography is so accessible, so you can get it on the computers, you can get it anywhere, the sentences should be lighter or something along those lines. You can definitely look it up. She said something like that, and I think porn should be illegal. I mean, that's a hot take. I know that not everybody agrees. I think it should be illegal. I think people, once we make it illegal for a couple of years, I think when we find out people are doing it, I think they should receive jail time. They are doing it or producing it, or they should, like, jail, like, straight to jail. Because it does harm people. It is the reason why we are in the predicament we are in our culture, is because of porn. It all starts with porn, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so those are just the 3 notable things about her that are concerning. You know, it should not matter whether she is a liberal or whether she's conservative. It shouldn't, because that's not what the purpose of being on the bench is. The purpose is to interpret the Constitution. Let me read to you a post really quick. A post that I posted. A post that I posted on the Those Are the Girls page really quick. Let me see, is it? It is about what the purpose of the Supreme. So the Supreme Court has the power of judicial review. Judicial review is the power to decide whether a legislative or executive act is a violation of the Constitution. That's all they do. They're supposed to decide. I'll read this again. Judicial review is the power to decide whether a legislative or executive act is a violation of the Constitution. Okay, that's it. So whether they are a Democrat or whether they are a Republican shouldn't matter if they're doing that. But unfortunately, stereotypically, the way that conservatives are, they will do that. The way that liberals are, they're going to start putting their own interpretations. They're going to start, they call it legislating from the bench. So that's why it's concerning. Another thing, the Berenian millennial, she said, they won't define baby, therefore they won't protect him. They won't define woman, therefore they won't protect him. Pay attention. And I think that's just kind of like a little insight into the future. What's that thing, like trembling in fear? Let me see if there's like a sound for that. No, okay. So there's not a sound for that. But yeah, so that's the new possible, well, she'll probably be confirmed, but she might not. I mean, Joe Manchin, some of our friends, our pro-life friends, are headed over to try to convince him to, sir, please don't vote for her. That's how they're going to say it. No, but in all seriousness, they're going to try to convince him not to confirm her. So we'll see. We will see. I guess I'll do like a quick ad read. 1 second. This episode of Those Are the Girls is brought to you by Living the Light Co. Living in the Light Co. was started by Brooke. If you listen to one of our previous episodes, I don't remember the exact number, but you'll hear an interview with her. She created this apparel company in 2019 when she left her full-time nursing job. All of the bows and scrunchies are wholesaled through small businesses in the U.S., and all of the apparel is custom designed by her. You do not have to worry about where your items are sourced, who is making them, and you can ultimately be reassured that when you spend money with them, they're going to families who are creating beautiful things to support themselves. My favorite thing is they do not cave to culture. Seriously, they have super cute stuff. I have the Prey shirt. What else does it say? I know it says Prey. I have the Prey shirt that I absolutely love. Use our code THOSEGIRLS to get 10% off. I use it to get my shirt, and I did get 10% off. Yay. So yeah, now back to the regularly scheduled programming. Y'all, I love these transitions. Okay. I don't know if you can hear it. I can't tell if you can. Maybe it picks it up, or it might not, because I'm going to get rid of the white noise effect. But my humidifier, I got a humidifier for Christmas from the Skinny Confidential. If you guys know Lauren, wow, why can I not remember her last name right now? Lauren and Michael she and her husband, they have a podcast called The Skinny Confidential. The Skinny Confidential. And the podcast is called His and Hers. What they do is they just talk about Bostic. Lauren Bostic is her name. And what they do is just talk about a bunch of they interview just a bunch of random people that do a bunch of really cool random things. And I am, once again, part of the target market, because almost every episode where you can buy something halfway through, well, I'll be honest, I haven't done that in a couple months because the economy, am I right? The economy. But before, when I started to really try to manage my money a lot better, before the episode was over, I'd be on Amazon, okay, let's see, this is interesting. Anyway, I asked for this, humidifier. I asked for it for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. It's basically like a diffuser. Okay, so it's like a diffuser because it comes with essential oils, but you don't have to worry about them being super crazy demonic. Where's the essential oil I just used? The one I'm using now is cotton candy. There's that other company that has angel's breath and money riches. Nah, it's cotton candy. It smells so good, but I really do like it. It's supposed to also help your skin. I've never, like I said before, another video, I've never really had bad skin, but I do get these bags under here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. And I like the glow. I really want to have that glow. And I think it's really helped with that. It's also helped with my sinuses. You can kind of hear a little bit of something right now because it's allergy season. So I want to help. I want to make sure I'm putting my face in this occasionally and just breathing. I absolutely love it. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's Lauren Bostic's on hers. I think you can get it directly from the website, theskinnyconfidential.com, or Skinny Confidential shop or something like that. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I really like it. That's not what the next topic was, but just wanted to let you guys know. So like I said, I know what I was going to say. It's also, so it's spring, and I want to see one of those, cute pictures some people have been doing. Isabel Brown did it, where she's I survived the summer of, or the winter of death, whatever it was, Joe Biden. So that was going to be my caption, but the weather has been trash the past, the first day of spring. It was terrible. The church that I was going to, that I go to at the time that I'm going to right now, their power went out because I think it was the wind or something, then it rained. So, and the weather's been kind of cold. Today it was not bad, but tomorrow is supposed to be kind of cold. Speaking of tomorrow, if you live in the Charlotte, tomorrow, as in the day you listen to this, if you listen to this before 9 a.m., and if this comes out at 8 a.m., if you are listening right at 8 a.m., and we're at the 40-minute mark, and you're and you live near Latrobe Drive, go. Come see us at Love Life. Super excited. We have the week. Those are the girls who are sponsoring it. So just really cool. 10 out of 10 should come. But yeah, it's supposed to be kind of chilly. So I remember my sweatshirt, my anti-abortion social club sweatshirt, but also to my anti-abortion social club hot pink tee, because it might warm up, A, and then B, we're taking back the color pink. We're taking it back. They're not going to have the color pink. We are taking it back. It is our color as well. Okay, I wanted to say that. And then what else did I want to say? Wow, I have talked for 40 minutes. And I don't think I've done a single, story. I've just been talking. Well, maybe I'll, title this, the completely random episode with Mallory. Oh, yes. The other thing I wanted to mention was Olivia Rodrigo. Her new TV show came out. Super excited. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know I asked for the other thing I asked for Christmas was a disc record player. And the only record I have is the Sour record. So, huge fan. So, I'm really excited about that. I want to leave you guys with this. This isn't anything serious. On Twitter, the night before I'm recording this, they were talking about the best Phineas and Ferb songs. And it honestly made me so happy. Some of the best Phineas and Ferb, I don't know, it's so terrible that kids don't get that type of shows anymore. It's so sad that kids don't have, I don't know, it was just so silly. I bet, if you're just, I bet it's just fun to write for kids shows, because you can just be, silly. Even the topics of some of these songs are just they're silly, and, I don't know, just make me so happy. So, what was you guys' favorite Phineas and Ferb song? I'm going to play some of mine really quick. Okay. I think this was a banger.
Dictionary bow, chicka bow wow. That's what my baby says. Bow bow bow. And my heart starts bumping. Chicka chicka choo wow. Never gonna stop. Get you, you means that I love you. I said bow, chicka bow wow. That's what my baby says. Bow bow bow. Starts bumping. Chicka chicka choo wow. Never gonna stop. Get you, you means that I love you.
Okay, that was a banger. Seriously, and then this one was really good, but I don't want to.
So we get groove, you are starting to move. Mister, you got rhythm times 10.
I think perhaps that you're not listening. I find it tedious to repeat. It's no big drum, I just can't keep time. I'm telling you, I lost the beat. I don't need my bass on t-shirt or hit a power chord guitar. Ever screaming my name, I guess it's a shame. I don't need to be a rock star. Besides, I ain't got rhythm. No, I ain't got rhythm. I ain't got rhythm. Ain't got rhythm. Ain't got rhythm.
Sounds like rhythm.
Ain't got rhythm.
Seems like they all agree. But you lay it down so no music will pay. But you got that beat.
Bangers. Okay, one last song. I know people are listening what the heck is going on? Okay, one last song. This one is and I have to show this one because it kind of goes with you'll just hear it. Okay, wait. Here we go.
Dad? Dad, what are you doing?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't really understand, but I fell down this hill. Now I got glue on my hands and I got records on my fingers. Records on my fingers. I got records on my fingers and I just can't stop. Don't stop. I can't stop. I got a platypus controlling me. I got a platypus controlling me. Now let me sum it up. It was a strange set of circumstances. I fell down the hill. I got glue on my hands. Now I got records on my fingers and I just can't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Well, I would if I was able. There's a platypus controlling me. He's underneath the table. Platypus controlling him. Oh, I get it. Platypus is a metaphor for whatever's keeping you down. Like corporations are them. The society's a platypus. My parents are a platypus. The media is a platypus. It's all a propaganda. Yeah, we all got platypus controlling us. We all got platypus controlling us. We all got platypus controlling us. See, the platypus controlling me is underneath the table. Wait, no, he's not. Hey, there's no platypus controlling me. There's no platypus controlling me.
Your dad's kind of cool.
Okay, I just maybe maybe I'll oh, this was another good one. Okay, and then well no, first let me talk about that one. I love that song so much. I kind of want to title this episode "There's a Platypus Controlling Me." I think that is so funny. But also too, we're listening to my top 4. Like I love these 4 so equally. Okay, here's the other one.
Bringing me to tears, cause just before you get home, it always just magically disappears. Those boys are evil. But before you get home, they somehow always clean up the mess. Testify, goodness, testify. Those boys are evil. Let me spell it out for your mama. EVILBOYS. They built a roller coaster and a beach in the backyard. Drove cattle through the city and messed up the boulevard. They took me back inside when we went to that museum. They built 50-foot treehouse robots, but still you didn't see them. Those boys are evil. Their crazy shenanigans caused me all kinds of distress. Those boys are evil. Sing it with me, EVILBOYS.
I remember, like, I used to say that about my brother all the time, which doesn't even make sense because that kid's my best friend. But anyway, good stuff. Maybe I think I might like say something about platypuses in the platypusi, I guess. Is that what the plural of the platypus species is? Platypusi. I might put that in the title of the episode, but that just made me really happy, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Phineas and Ferb, like 10 out of 10, great show. I wish they made shows like that. Like, I guess in the future, Lord willing, I have kids. I'm married and have kids. We'll just be watching the old stuff, and they'll think it's new. I'm gonna have them, especially my girls, enjoying OG Jonas Brothers. They're not gonna know what hit them. They're gonna go to school and be like, "Yeah, have y'all heard of the new band Jonas Brothers?" But yeah, so I guess that's it for the week. I don't really know what else really to talk about. Thank you all for listening. If you have any ideas of topics just in the future about anything, we have a really, really, really good episode on Tuesday that is needed. And I want everyone to share it with their friends. Like, we have a fantastic episode coming out on Tuesday. We also have merch, like I said earlier, new merch. Please check it out. Also, too, if you enjoyed this episode or any of our other episodes, this is your first time listening to this episode, the show's not this unhinged. I feel like it was kind of like me just talking. It's not really, like, it's a little bit more. It's usually better than this. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you share it with your friends. Also, make sure you like, review, subscribe, leave a comment, give us 5 stars wherever it is you're listening. If you're listening on Apple Music, please, please, please give us 5 stars, leave a review. It will truly help us. The idea, once again, is just for other girls to hear the podcast, and not just this episode, but like, because I do feel that this probably is not the most interesting episode, but whatever. This is a glimpse into Mel behind the scenes, I guess. But it's also to, like, for other girls to find this, so they know that, yeah, you know what, I do like Phineas and Ferb. I do like that music. I'm not weird for that. Or, you know what, I do think that Ketanji Brown, like, I don't like that she cannot define a woman. I felt comfortable that she was okay to give those pedophiles very smalls or very low sentences. I'm uncomfortable with that. And for them to know they're not alone, because I think a lot of people do feel like they're alone. And so share this, because we want people to find this. We want people to find this all over, everywhere, and to not feel as if their voice is not being expressed either. Because if you listen to podcasts, especially in the category we're in, there are not many podcasts that are going to be talking about the things that we talk about, that are going to be sharing the things that we share, because they don't agree with us. And we need that voice out there. We need something else in the atmosphere that is not like the culture. I'm trying to think of anything else to add. Come to Love Life today and within 10 minutes, because it's at the 50-minute mark now. If you're listening, head to Love Life right now. We'd really appreciate it. I'd love to see you, give you a hug. I'm a hugger, you know. Okay, I guess that's it. Thanks you guys so much for listening. Have a good rest of your day, week, evening, or whenever, however, wherever you are listening or watching. Because also, to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're doing the clips, and we're going to be doing some other just YouTube exclusives. Okay, bye.